It's Tim Albright with AVNation with the InfoComm 2019 special. What we're doing is we are previewing the annual AV show in North America. InfoComm comes your way the 8th through the 14th of June. The show floor is the 12th through the 14th of June. And with me today to talk about Aurora Multimedia's booth is Mr. Paul Harris. Welcome, sir.
How you doing?
I am well. You guys are in booth number 1680, 1680. You guys have a very broad range of products. You do AV over IP, you do switching, you do all sorts of things. So when we walk into Aurora's booth, what are we going to find?
Actually, the first thing you're going to find this year is a big 14-foot LED wall, believe it or not. Not made by us, but
are you doing LED walls now?
No, but you know what? We had to make a message out there and give a nice little drawer in there. And I got to thank the guys from SNA for hooking us up with a really nice LED wall in our booth. So you'll be able to see their technology. So they're kind of getting a plug from this video. But we're going to be, last year we started doing some stand messages where we were putting out there, you know, what we were doing, you know, the typical where you gather people and you talk about the products and the technology and what you're doing. So this year we're doing it with an even bigger screen. So last year we had, I think, two 55-inch screens, and this year we're just doing it with one big 14-foot LED wall. So it kind of makes it more interesting. So having a little bit more fun in our booth this year.
Well, and last year you did a couple of interesting things. Last year you partnered with HD-based T, and you have products from a couple different folks where you had a fiber connection between your booth and HD-based T's booth, showing one of their evolving technologies as well.
Yeah, that was actually 2 years ago. It was really cool. It was a pleasure to work on that project. It was probably one of my favorite projects I've ever worked on. It was HD-based TIP, proof of concept. And we actually ran a 1,000-foot cable between the two booths and showed that we did the world's first. You know me, world's first. I got to be the first one to do it, man. You know, otherwise, what's the point of doing anything? I don't like me toos. So we ran a fiber, and on one fiber we went in both directions. Instead of needing a transmit 10 gig and a receive 10 gig connection, we did it over one cable, bidirectional, transmitting IP HD-based T. So it wasn't just about a point-to-point. It was an IP implementation of HD-based T doing 10 gig over the link in real time. So yeah, it was pretty good. We actually developed that product in 4 months. It was that insane. Yeah, I had last minute, we had, I think, 5 guys from Israel down in our lab working our butts off every day to bring it up. And with like maybe 3 days before the show, we got the whole thing operational. It was quite amazing. Those guys, I get the pleasure of working with a lot of intelligent people out there, and those guys really know their stuff. They stepped up. They enjoyed the project a lot too. There was doubters at first thinking we couldn't get it done in that short of a time frame, and typical me, no, we're getting it done. And yeah, with 3 days to spare, we got it done. So it wasn't like one of those movies where the clock starts ticking down 10, 9, 8, 7, and then right at 1 second we saved the day. We actually did it with 3 days to spare. So
that's pretty close to the last 3 seconds, though.
Oh, you really don't want to wait that long if you can avoid it. It's nice to have it much, you know, sleep at night's a good thing, and waiting 3 days before doesn't exactly let you sleep as easily. But you know what? I'll take it. There's been shows where literally you're getting it at the show itself. You're coming down to the wire, and sometimes things just don't work your way, and you got to call it a day on a product, and you're like, next show. Or you just decide to show it, but a non-working unit. All the other manufacturers out there know what I'm talking about. We all go through it. It's part of the routine, part of the fun, part of the stories that you get to talk about at a later time that people don't realize what you go through to get a product to market. So, but it's a challenge, and you know, everybody's out there's got all the best intentions. But sometimes they just don't go your way. But that particular one went our way, and then now it's being developed in the background with those guys, and it'll be a few more years before you see the technology. So it'll throw another little kink in the mix there as to what standard, because I know that's a big talk is, well, whose standard do I use for AV over IP? And everybody's fighting for standards, and we have our own opinion, and you know, we'll be making our showing there and doing what we do.
Very cool. One thing that you guys do a lot of is inviting dealers and now, you know, end users in. When you bring in folks and you know, talk for a second about the integrator as well as the end user that's coming to your booth. What exactly are you showing them, and what's the message that you bring to them?
Well, the first message is what Aurora is. So one of the most important things for a company is defining what they are as a company and what interests do they serve. I think that's very important, especially when you have a lot of these, as I say, Me Too products, where it's the same thing with a different silk screen that they're buying from China or Taiwan or wherever they're getting it from. Or it's just they made the same thing that everybody else made, but a different price point, different aesthetic. To me, that does nothing for the industry. That's just another product. Some of them, they are what they are. Splitters, they are what they are. But even those type of things, you can do things to make it better, which we do with our own products. So it's important to show why we are Aurora. And we're Aurora because we like to innovate. We like to be the first people to do a technology and not just do it for the heck of it. Do it to show that it makes things better, it simplifies, and it just makes a difference to the industry, and it moves us forward as an industry, not just gouging and taking from the industry. We like to give back into the industry. And that really is a big part of it. And then the other part is we like to protect the integrators. We could have done this, we don't just dump it to every distributor on the market and just let every website sell our products. We protect the interests of the integrator, and we don't let everybody and anybody buy it. It needs proper support. It needs to allow integrators to make money off of products and be integrators and not just installers. So a big message when you go into us is, how do we protect the end user, the integrator, the consultant? How do we differentiate our technology so when you do spec our product, why are they using our product as opposed to this, whatever it is that you buy online? And that's a very important thing. So we're trying to bring back commercial grade products and show that there's a delineation between ours, making it a commercial grade product, versus what you buy on the internet, which is a consumer grade product.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you guys are in booth number 1680, 1680. Paul, not everybody is going to Orlando to visit InfoComm 2019. So if they are not, but they want to follow along with everything that Aurora will be talking about that week, how do they do that?
Okay, so you can find it on our website. For the people who are, it's www.auroramm.com. Another interesting website you want to check out is reax.com, reax.com. So real quick, because I know I kind of swayed a little bit on more of but the technology you really want to see this year at our booth, obviously our AV over IP, our 10 gig SDVOE, hands down the most advanced out there, and we'll prove it and show why we do things that just no other SDVOE product on the market does, and what separates us from everybody else, our transceiver technology and all the other things that we do with it. I won't go into all the details. Got to come to our booth to see all the details. The VLX series, our 1 gig go-to series, been shipping it for years. The only transceiver wall plates, transceiver boxes, just the methodology of how we do everything with it falls in line with our 10 gig, and we keep them very synergized with the way they operate. Our HD-based T, our HT series is finally shipping. Once again, redefining and supercharging HD-based T, taking it to a whole nother level of unshielded 4K 6444, mixing in Dante IP port expanders, reversible USB, and even right down to using PoE to power both sides with no wall supply. So we're doing things, once again, that just no one does. Reax, we showed it last year. That was the open source control engine. We said it was coming. This year, 8 products we're going to show there that prove that it's real and they're shipping and that it works. And now that's phase 1. Phase 2 is to create the organization and bring on board all the founders, contributors, adopters, and that's the reax.org website. And we're going to show that we can make a pure JavaScript-based control engine that'll be interoperable between, yes, our competitors. So that's a big thing that we've been promoting and really, really separates from everyone else. And we did create the world's first 10 gig 24-port PoE injector that can do PoE plus and PoH mid-span in a 1RU for 10 gig, and it'll make any 10 gig switch PoE capable.
Very cool.
I'll be showing that there as well. So that's a quick snippet, if you come to our booth, of some of the exciting technology we have.
Yeah, if you come to the booth, again, booth number is 1680. If you are not going, AuroraMM.com is the website. Paul, thank you so much. For AVNation, you can buy the website, AVNation.tv, AVNation.tv, and follow along as we also head to Orlando, 12th to the 14th of June, and bring you everything from the show floor, including a visit with Mr. Paul Harris from Aurora Multimedia. All that and more at AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv.